Go off. Go off. Go off.
Peace and Black Power, everyone. I am back on this Mother's Day evening. This episode, or this segment, I should say, is about the destruction of the original people, the man, woman, and child. We have a few things to talk about with everything that has been going on in this country that we're in, United States. I'm aware that this is happening everywhere across the world, but right now we're focusing on what's been happening in the United States because that's where we are right now. So I apologize to a lot of my African followers that are in Africa. We'll touch on y'all situation probably in a couple more segments. But right now we're focusing on the United States. So today's guest is Nino X. He will be coming on. He has to tell us something very important that's happened in his city in the last couple of days that has not made the news. It has not been publicized or anything like that. And our people definitely need to know about what's going on in St. Cloud, Florida. But before I bring on Nino X, I'm going to welcome back Nekabet Mayat and Queen Divine Wisdom to the show. We're gonna build a little bit on what's been happening. Like I said before, we, bring him onto the show. So again, thank you all for tuning in, and we're about to get this started. Peace, sisters.
Hello, peace, sister.
Peace.
How y'all doing?
Peace, sister. Peace.
Okay. So, before we get started, I do have to. Earlier, we was together during November, and I didn't get a chance to give my father a special shout out, and I need to do that real quick because my father sends me a Mother's Day card every year since I've had my first child. Every year, faithfully. My first child is 19 years old, so for 19 years he's been sending me a Mother's Day card. And
shout out to Pop.
Thank you, Daddy. I love you so much. I appreciate you for always remembering me on this day. When no one else does, you definitely do. When I don't hear Happy Mother's Day for anyone else, I hear from you at midnight. So thank you for this card, Daddy. I love you, and it's very nice. Okay. Now, back to our subject at hand, which is the destruction of the original people, man, woman, and child. Okay, so there's been a string of murders happening in our country, as you know. A lot have not been addressed, and only a couple have been addressed and made publicized. I guess we can start off right now with Sean Reed, right? 21 years old.
Right.
He was murdered on May 6th.
Yep.
In Indianapolis, Indiana. Are y'all aware that that same day the police killed 2 other people in that town?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
I did read something about that.
They killed 2 other people in Indianapolis the same day as him, and one was a pregnant woman.
I believe it was the same police department too, right?
It was the same police department. One was a pregnant woman,
and they were black as well.
They were black. The guy though, the other person that was murdered, what was said is that he started shooting at them first, so they killed him.
Yeah, they said the same thing about Sean Reed.
But we know Sean Reed didn't shoot at anyone.
Right.
Yeah.
We know he didn't shoot at anyone. And so, and the same thing with this pregnant woman who they struck with their car and killed her.
Wow.
There in Indianapolis, Indiana. So that's 3 incidents, but 2 were innocent lives that were taken. So my thing is this with Sean. I did a little research on Sean Reed, right? I seen that he was in the Air Force, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
He served in the Air Force or something like that. I seen, different people saying different things. What do you think about his actions prior to him being murdered by the police, with him riding around, the whole shirt off thing? him, doing what he was doing to the police before it happened. What do you think about that?
I think he may have had a mental disorder. I think that's exactly what was wrong with him. Is that I believe it was a cry for help. When you keep continually posting stuff on Facebook or you're making certain posts, I feel like it was a cry for help, especially when, he's riding down the street and shooting his gun off.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the whole Facebook Live video.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty deep. Like I was thinking like, dang, like, he didn't shoot at the police, but he definitely was drawing attention to himself.
Right. And, I feel the same way, because before that, he during the video, if you listen, he says that he was about to pull over and that somebody needed to come get his stupid behind, because he was doing something dumb, which I agree. Yeah. First and foremost, during the video, at the very beginning, we don't know why the police, they said he was driving erratically, which I could understand, but he also showed us how he wasn't speeding, he wasn't driving crazy, but they were still following him.
They were following him.
Yeah.
They were following him. They were following him. And then he got lost. Remember, he was lost on some street.
Yeah.
So he got lost. And the thing is,
hit a dead end.
He's going.
The thing is, regardless to if he was riding around shooting earlier, regardless to what he posted on Facebook, regardless to all of that, he did not get out and with a weapon and shoot at the police or aim anything at the police for that matter, for them to kill him like that.
Exactly.
Right. Oh, he shot over 10 times?
Because how many? They shot him 14 times, right?
I don't know. I heard 12.
They just say, I know that
I'm not sure how many times, but
he was shot over 10 times. Yeah. I mean,
and
for someone that was unarmed.
It was overkill. It was
yeah, it was.
Huh?
On the video, when they shot him,
he was running from the police. Yeah, he was running from them.
Right.
It was. It was because but you could also hear somebody said something to him and he was like, I can't. He said, what you say? Because like he was screaming back at them and you heard him say, what did you say? What you say?
To the police officer. The police was saying things to him. He was like, what you say?
Yeah.
He said, okay, I got someone that commented. He said he should not abandon his car, but maybe it was not his car. And that's something else to think about too, because why did he get out that car?
Right.
And decide to walk. You know what I mean? Why did he do that?
Right.
That was another question. That was something else I was like, why did he even get out that car? You feel like he knew that the police was chasing him? Like,
but it brings us back to the first point that we was making. He wasn't in his right mind. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole time he was on that live video, he was apologizing to his family. And, not unbeknownst to him, those was going to be his last words to his mother, his sister, and everybody else that was watching. But, he was just, he kept saying, Mom, I'm sorry, I love you. He said the same thing to his sister. He said he loved her too. So it's like we really don't know as far as what was the legitimate reason behind him abandoning his car. It was just fear. He wasn't thinking, and I guess he felt he'd rather run and have his best chance than to sit in that car and be gunned down.
See, that was his worst chance, because once he got out that car, he was already considered armed and dangerous. Armed and dangerous. As soon as he got out that car, you know what I mean?
He was armed and dangerous with the color of his skin.
Yeah, because I was gonna say we don't get a chance to have mental disorders, or they think that we can't have PTSD, or that's for their people only. We don't get the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, hold on. So Seth says again, he said he was handling his phone and looked like he was getting ready to shoot, getting the gun to shoot. He dropped the phone.
Yeah, dropped the phone. Somebody said he had two phones.
0118.
I've seen a lot of different stuff. I don't think that he had a gun on him though. I'm not.
Me neither. I swear I watched that video over and over to make a bet. I did.
They never said he had a gun after. They never said he had a gun.
Yeah, because when he was in the car,
in the report,
I never heard about his gun after.
Yes, that's what I said. You could see him, and it looks like he had two phones actually because he was handling the both of them. He was holding one while he was holding the steering wheel, and then he was holding another one, and he was recording. But you could also see, like you said, he didn't have no shirt on. He had on some sweatpants. You know.
Right.
So this is just another unfortunate, case where one of our people done got gunned down by the police. Now, whether he had a gun or not, or was reaching for a gun, like someone said, that's unknown because they never said he had the gun afterwards. They never said anything about having a gun.
Now, in the actual video, because he was on live and they streamed for over an hour. Okay, so it's like in the actual video, they don't say anything about a weapon. Right. But on the news report, they report that there was a gun found close to him, is what they said.
One of the
that did not belong to a police officer. That's what they said.
They're so full of shit.
That's crazy. That's just craziness. And
and they made fun of him because it just goes to show you that he was targeted as well. Because in the video as well, if you listen to the audio, if you listen throughout, they conversate, and to me, it sounds like they're trying to get their story straight. They're matching up details, with each other of what exactly just happened, and then someone laughs and makes a joke about how it was going to be a closed casket and marked him by calling him homie.
Right.
Yes,
I
heard that. The police was joking. About it being a closed casket.
And they laughed. I heard him laughing a few times, different times.
Right.
Yeah.
So you did not shoot him. You didn't shoot him to disarm him. You didn't shoot him to disarm him. You didn't shoot him to drop him down to where he could be apprehended. They shot him down. They basically it was a massacre. If it's on a closed casket,
they tased him too.
They shot him in the face. They tased him first.
Sure.
They tased him and then they started shooting.
They tased him first. Yeah, they tased him first and then they shot him.
That shit's just sad.
Right. And it's like, if they said if it's going to be a closed casket, then that means that, they shot that boy all in his face.
They knew what they was finna do when they did it.
Yeah.
And Sex said the guy should have pulled over calmly and complied. But that's what we're talking about, Sex. Netbeck already said that, and so didn't Queen Divine Wisdom.
Right.
How many times have we complied until in the day?
That there's something actually wrong with him. There was something wrong with him mentally.
But
social media
thing. How many times have our people complied and still in the shot?
Right. Like what was the man's name? They shot him right in his car next to his girlfriend. They asked him, did he have a gun license? And they told him
Philandro.
Yes, Philandro, yes. And he told him yes, and they asked him to reach in his pocket and pull out his license for his registered weapon. And when he reached in his pocket, they killed him.
They killed him right on live.
Right.
They killed him right on live.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter.
And that was him complying.
They're gonna kill you. They're gonna kill you if they want to kill you. Like that's just that. If they feeling trigger happy, they feeling trigger happy, and that's just what it is. That's just what it is, man. Like, and I just don't. I feel terrible though that we are able to see this stuff happening. Like, you know what I mean? Like we want to know what's happening, but it's terrible to witness it happening right on live like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of like
that is terrible.
It's just terrible. It's trauma.
Like they're dangling it. I feel like it's so many videos, and they put them all out at one time. So it's kind of like, look what we doing to y'all, and then you see the people protesting and saying, "Please stop."
Look what we doing to y'all, and y'all not doing nothing back, and y'all ain't doing nothing back. That's what it is. Right. Look what we can do, and you're not doing nothing back.
I feel like it is terrible
you look
that we can see that. I feel like it is terrible that we can see that, but and then again, I feel like I'm glad that we can see because the world can see that the image that they have painted, you know, not only for the black woman and the child, but for the black man mostly, that they are violent people. You know, the stories used to be, oh well, we did that because we feared for our life, and everybody believed it because we don't have any video evidence, we don't have anybody to testify, you know, against testify for the victim because the victim is dead, you know, and the only people whose word that we can go by is the police officers that gunned them down. You know, and at one point in time, you know, they weren't releasing body cam footage, even though they had body cam.
Right.
You know? So it's like it gives us an opportunity to see, and for people to see that when we do finally take a stand and when we do finally stand up, that we're not doing it for no reason. We are tired of being killed. We are tired of being a target.
Right. Right. I absolutely agree. It's just like I was like, again, to like what I said, it's sad to see it. It's terrible, it's traumatizing, but it's something that we need to know what's happening. You know what I mean? And this is part of the reason why I don't want my children on social media, because I don't want my children seeing stuff like that. You know, I don't want them to have nightmares and stuff like that. And as soon as they hear a bang outside or a car backfire, they can, like,
they're scared.
Yeah, they get scared. I don't like all that. I just don't. It's just like,
you know what? You make a very valid
videos of your people being killed can show PTSD. So
I'm about to say that, Fari, you make a very valid point. I don't mean to cut you off neck and back, but Fari does make a very valid point when it comes to the post-traumatic stress and the traumatization of our children, because you know, my family dealt with a direct situation when it came to the police department, Houston Police Department, and it was like, for a long time, if a fire truck passed the house and lights were flashing, my kids will get out of their bed and come and run to me scared, thinking that the police is going to come kicking the door and gun us down. And they dealt with that for a really long time.
See?
You know?
It's crazy the world that we have to actually raise our kids in. Like, we're supposed to be the protectors, and I feel like as a people, we have failed our children. Like, we are really failing our children. Because when it comes to the point where your enemy can come in your house or kill your kids, and we don't unite and deal with that instead of unite and protest, I hate to say it, but I hate that protesting shit. I hate it. I don't like it, because we've been protesting for how long? What has it solved? So at some point, you have to be like, okay, if you want to kill mine, I'm going to kill yours. Because you
like we just spoke about on the last show at the end, eye for an eye. You know,
you can't run
eye for an eye, straight up. Like, you know,
run my house and just walk out.
It has to be eye for an eye.
Right. It's like, you're gonna take one of mine, I'm gonna take one of yours.
Doing what they do. Right. 2, 3, 4. 1, 4 are yours.
Exactly. And it's gonna be no news interviews or none of that. It's just gonna be real. It's gonna be real silent.
So it's just but you know, at the same time,
you know what?
At the same time, we're saying this though. Wait, at the same time, we're saying this though, but it's not happening. You understand what I'm saying? It's not happening.
It's not.
And I'm thinking what I believe is the reason why it's not happening.
Know it, though.
Because it hasn't happened for hours.
That's funny that you say that, because, you know, when we were talking earlier, I thought to myself, you know, everybody's all in, oh my God, that is so sad. I can't believe that happened. You know, they need to stop killing us. But at the end of the day, you don't want to stand up and do anything until it happens to your mother, your sister, your father, your cousin, your uncle, your brother. You know what I mean?
That's when you want to do something.
When it hits home, then all of a sudden, now it's Black Power. I need to stand up and testify against this. No, you know what I mean? We are not ready as a people. You know, like what happened with Ahmaud Arbery. You know what I mean?
That was the next person I was about to get on, Ahmaud.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the next person I was about to ask you all about Ahmaud. What was your thoughts on Ahmaud?
Okay. It is leading into Ahmaud and also talking about the subject we were talking about right now. It is a white man from the same town that they are from, okay, where this took place. And his name is James Harrison, okay? He is bold enough and confident enough to post on his social media that the man Gregory and I think his name is Travis McMichael, I think their names were, that people need to stand up for them, and have their back so they can be released this, second, and third. But he also posted that Black people were not ready for a race war, and he is correct.
He's in Brunswick.
I think that where it had happened at. Yeah, and he's correct. We are not ready because we will not unite. We will rather fight and kill each other before we decide that we want to stand side by side one another to go against our oppressor.
Right.
You know what it is, and that goes back to what I was talking about on one of my shows before. That's that fear. Fear. It's fear. Our people are scared of each other, but we are scared of the white man, scared of the consequences, scared of the repercussions, scared of what can happen to our families. They are scared of any and everything when it comes to the white man. A lot of talk, but there's no action. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because they're scared.
Even
all it is
like
fear. It's fear.
The situation I went through with the Oklahoma City Police Department. Even going through all of that, I'm thinking, okay, I'm fighting this fight for my people. I'm gonna be protected. They're gonna have my back.
Right.
It don't work out that way. So a lot of people are scared to put themselves out there, because then when you do, you turn around and everybody gone. And it's like,
that's because they're afraid to be a target. They feel like, okay, well, if I hear pour out, then they're gonna notice my face, and then if the situation occurred, then I'm gonna be a target. What you fail to realize are we all targets.
Yeah, you already a target. You could be walking up the street, you a target. Your kids playing in the park, they a target. You grocery shopping, you a damn target. You looking at toy guns in Walmart, in the gun aisle. You a target. Like,
you a target.
You can't do shit.
Yep.
When your kids become a target, then it shouldn't be. It should when the first
it shouldn't be a question.
It shouldn't have been a handful of kids having to be killed before we reacted.
Right.
So now it's like,
shouldn't have gotten this far.
After all this time, we still fighting the same damn fight that our grandparents fought, that our great grandparents fought. Why? Why? Because these motherfuckers are weak. Like, really. They really weak.
But see, the thing is,
and they know that.
The thing is, our ancestors and our grandparents before the ones before them, you know what I mean? They didn't have the same type of fight as you. We're more fierce. Like, we're more fierce. They were a lot more scared than what we are today.
And that's exactly what we
That's why you see us today. You actually fight with the police. Like, there's some of us that actually try to fight them. You know what I mean? And going out shooting them and stuff like that. A lot of our ancestors were more compliant.
They were more non-violent.
Yeah, that's why they was doing that marching and all that stuff like that.
And that's why they are continuing to do us like that.
They believed in the peace. They believed in the peace and no war. You know what I mean? And that's why they marched.
No justice. There's no justice. There cannot be no peace.
Right.
How?
See, you know what? I think I told y'all. Some of y'all that was on my page seen me maybe 5 years ago. I actually protested after Mike Brown's situation, and we was out there in Atlanta. You know what I mean? Protesting, had everything locked down and everything, and I walked. This was days protesting. I was in the front of the line, got locked up and everything like that during the protest. But I never did it again, because I realized then and there it didn't do nothing. It didn't work. Nothing.
Yeah.
What's crazy? I did the same thing last year in 2019. I started a protest, and I did it as a social experiment as well, also as a wake-up call. And it's like a lot of people who have been on my page, if they have seen it, then they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I actually started a petition, because even though we feel like, we can't do this, that, and third, because, it's going to go to the White House and it's going to get swept under the rug. It doesn't matter. It got seen. It was heard. It got seen. I started a petition. And the petition was for exactly what we're talking about right now. It was the brutality and the brute force that is taken on Black people when it comes to the injustice in the judicial system, and the discrimination when it comes to sentencing to Black people, and the difference between the sentencing that takes place with a Black man and the sentencing that would take place with a white person. You know, and the differences, and the petition was for them to review all this information so that this stuff can stop. I swear, I think maybe only 2 people signed that petition, and all it takes is 100,000 signatures on a petition, and the White House has to review it. You know, yes, and they feel like, oh well, you know what? It doesn't matter because they don't care. They don't care. They don't care because you don't care. So why should they care? You see that they're all in these offices. They're voting for each other. The reason why nothing is happening and we're not seeing any change is because there is no unity. They are standing together. These white people are standing together. Everything that you see happen, they protect each other.
Yeah, they protect each other even when they wrong. They GoFundMe's be booming, bro. After that boy that killed all them Black people in that church.
White folks always stand up for each other. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they did, what if it was wrong or right. They always stand up for each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? It just doesn't matter.
We have us who's like, oh, well, he may have had a gun or he shouldn't have been doing that. It don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
He shouldn't have been overkilled like that.
You know?
Right. He shouldn't have been overkilled like that.
We are the prime example. We are the prime example of the result of divide and conquer. They have divided us. And they are conquering us.
The only thing that matters with let's go back to Sean Reed is the fact that when we was trying to figure out what was wrong with him, he clearly had a mental illness, and they're not ever going to say that.
Right? They're not.
They never do.
You know what I mean? That's what matters.
Of people having PTSD, even growing up in the projects, you see your friends being killed, or you see traumatic experiences going through your life. Through your childhood, and it's not supposed to affect you because you're Black. You're not supposed to have it's not supposed to affect you any type of way. Right. Because you're Black. You don't get the benefit of the doubt like they do.
But you know, them white folks do. Them people always get the benefit of doubt. As soon as anything happened, it's like, oh, he had depression. Oh, he was depressed. He has schizophrenia. He has this. He has that. As soon as anything happened, you know what I mean? They automatically diagnose them with mental illness. But
and they are
like one of their kids shoot up a school somewhere.
We're criminals. We're this. We're that. But it's never a mental illness with our people. But we were born into mental illness. We were born into PTSD freaking D. You understand what I'm saying? We was born into that because our parents dealt with it, and that stuff carried on into us. You understand?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about earlier, you know, like
you know what I'm saying? So
like with these children, you know, with these white kids, like a white child, you know, they can go to school stressed out, you know, oh, they just having a bad day because their parents probably getting divorced, or they're mad because they got their video games taken, and they can shoot up a school. And you know what they're gonna do? They're going to make sure that they hold him and they you know, that he's apprehended correctly and that he's safe and sound, and they're going to give him a psych evaluation. It's like, oh, you have to understand he had a hard year, he was depressed, he was bullied, he was this, he was that. Okay, we was bullied. We were bullied before we were even born. You know,
in the womb.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? Right. So what about us? Like Michael Jackson, okay? What about us?
Yeah. Right.
You know?
Facts. So let's get on real quick because we about to hit that 30-minute mark, right? I want to talk about quick a few of these unseen and publicized murders have been happening hearing about because of someone else, but it hasn't made it on the news.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? I want to talk about this Hispanic boy, Jesse Cadillo, in Colorado, Pueblo, Colorado. All right. I don't know the whole story on it, but I seen what was happening, and the sister wants us to spread the word. Okay.
Oh, that's the one that we just seen.
Yeah, the 20-year-old, the one I showed y'all, that I'm not gonna put it on here because it's too violent. It's too violent. So the 20-year-old boy come running around the corner with his hands up like this. The police shot the sheriff of Pueblo, Colorado, shot the boy not once, not twice, but 13 times while his hands was up. And he's in a fetal position trying to block his face, and they just putting all the bullets in him. All the bullets in him. For everyone out there, the boy had no weapon, no nothing. And they just killed that boy. And then they walked up on him like this with the guns, like he wasn't dead. After they done put 13 bullets in him.
They emptied every clip.
Like all that right there, overkill. Overkill.
Right.
Whatever he did, I'm pretty sure he did not need to be killed.
If he had his fucking hands up,
right.
Right.
You know, it's crazy because they're always talking about justice this and justice that, and you know, they're the person that came up with this bullshit ass, you know, peace court and having a fair trial and stuff like that. What happened to fair trial? What happened to going before a jury and letting the jury decide your sentencing? You know, we're not even making it to the courthouse anymore.
Right.
You know?
Right, exactly. It's just, I don't know. And I wasn't even going to bring up the little Hispanic boy because my focus is always on our people. You understand what I'm saying? But after I seen that video, and y'all seen it too, I showed it, it was like, like, someone needs to say something about this boy.
That was out of
I mean? That was too much right there. That don't make no sense.
No, but it's because he was not one of them. So they killed him.
You know, they're doing it to the
gunned him down, like
they're doing it to the Indians.
Like he was a beer or a piece of deer or something that they can eat. They gunned him down. You know what I mean? In front of some woman's house and put bullets all through her house, they said. All through her house, an old lady house. Like,
and they could have killed her.
Stupid ass. Girl, you took the words out of my mouth. I was just about to say the same thing. They could have killed her. This lady.
The old lady in
and crossfire.
I was sue
the bullets went all through her house.
What? I'll be waiting at the front door, City Hall, waiting.
What? People need to remember that addresses are public records. Whether you're a police officer, no matter where you work, addresses are public records. So when it comes to justice, if you feel like you're not gonna get it going through the courts, something. You know, I'm just different.
Well, we just, you know what? I hope them Hispanics join together because you know they always stick together. Them and some people always stick together too. There'll be about 40 of them in one house.
Yep.
For real. They
do.
Deep. So I hope they get together and I hope that they light that police station up. I hope they do something to that police station. I hope that they act how they act in Mexico. Do that here in America.
We need to learn. We need to
you know what I mean?
We need to do our research. We need to do our research.
Yeah,
because there is a law that is said that if you feel like your life is in danger or you are, it's something like if you feel like your life is in danger, or if you feel like you are being a victim of injustice, police brutality, you have the right to take that officer's life. And I was reviewing it, and I wish I would have wrote it down, but it is actually a bill that was passed on that. And that's a lot of stuff that people don't know because they don't talk about it anymore. Because if we know about it, then we will use it.
Then you will use it.
That's the thing. They do not want us. They don't want us to. You know, like you don't hear anybody talking about the Constitution anymore. You know, or the Second Amendment. You know what I mean? You don't hear anybody talk about that stuff anymore. Why? Because they have it too busy focused on the fact that it never makes it to the court. It never makes it that far. But when you do your research, my people, we need to learn the laws of the state that we are in. So if you find yourself in an injustice situation, you know your rights and you know what you're capable of, you know what you can and cannot do. You are able to ask the officer for their credentials, ask them for their ID.
Yeah, and we know that.
You know what I mean?
Even with our rights, the police don't care about our rights. They don't care about our rights.
And
they violate our rights all the time. They don't care about our rights.
Right.
Look at the Moorish community. Look at the Moorish community. They go out speaking their rights to the police, and they still get their ass whooped
with their paperwork.
With their paperwork, and they still getting their butt handed to them. You know what I mean? So, and they be knowing all the rights.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, you got a point because this man and he was sovereign, and he had his paperwork, you know. And I mean, they had the police lined up to the caboose, and they still dragged him up out his car, even with his paperwork, with sovereignty. Yes, I mean, they did not care.
They don't care about our rights.
Out the window.
We can know our rights in the back of our hand.
Yep, they
don't care.
They dragged him out the window.
Yeah, he had his paperwork, and they pulled him out his window of his car.
Yep.
That's why I'm saying, like, if it's gonna come down to my life or yours, and I feel like, okay, this is the last. It ain't gonna be me. Yeah, this is it. Oh, okay, then it's gonna be. I'm not just going out. You're not just gonna kill me.
It's gonna be a shootout at like the shootout at the OK Corral.
Right.
Listen. Listen. You ain't getting me a mind. I'm sorry, you ain't gonna take my son out like no buster, like Queen Latifah set it off. Listen.
Like, okay,
listen. Right.
Because this is great. You know, it's just like, and we all have sons. You know, we all talked about having sons. How do y'all feel?
Right.
About, like, now that your sons are getting older, and you know they are going to be out on their own soon. How do you feel about that?
I'm scared for my son. I'm scared for my children.
I'm scared for my son, mostly because, like I told you before, you know, when we did the story about the dysfunctional mothers, you know, we talked about our kids a little bit, and we talked about where I'm at right now. And these police officers out here know me, and they know I don't play that shit. And that's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of the fact that they know I don't play that shit. So even when a situation occurs, they will not say nothing to my son. They will call me and let him, miss, we got your son, whatever. But the situation is, for the police officers that don't know and don't care, is what my fear is, because I recently, not too long ago, had been driving down the street, and I was going to go do something, can't remember, but anyway, my son was in a car with someone else, and they had this car pulled over, and I happened to drive by, and I look up, and they have my baby on the floor in handcuffs. So I'm like, well, first of all, he's a minor, so that's not even supposed to take place, So I'll go park the car. I come back and I walk back up there and I say, where's that little boy that had that burgundy hoodie on? So the officer says, I don't know what little boy you're talking about. I said, you know what little boy I'm talking about. I say, and so the dude that he said, he's on the other side of the car. So I walk on the other side of the car. I say, you need to get up. I tell my son he needs to get up on the floor. Police officer said, oh, I don't know if he said. I say, I need you to shut up. And I'm talking to him. I need you to get up off the floor, and I need y'all to take them handcuffs off of him. He was like, well, I don't know. Maybe I need to call the sergeant. I said, you need to call your sergeant and let him know that you got a minor in handcuffs and his mother's standing right here and he needs to be released. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, with the fact that I know that and I know it's right, they let him go, but at the same time, that makes them mad. You know what I mean? So it's like, how do I know the next time you see my baby, you won't try to take his life because you was angry and I don't play that. You know what I mean? So, back to Fari's question is, I am afraid simply because I know what they're capable of. You know what I mean? And then it's like we want to arm, because out here it's a certain age range, it's open carry and stuff like that. And like I tell a lot of people, my son knows how to shoot guns, he knows how to draw swords, he knows karate, you know what I mean? He knows how to kickbox, he knows all of that.
I think she froze.
Yeah.
So
but it's like, that first.
Wait, she's still talking.
Yeah, so it's like, at what point, when and where do we know is enough?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's where it's at.
So I'm gonna get on to the next person, and I'm gonna bring on Nino X, right? Nino X is gonna tell us all about a recent homicide by the police. It's all good in Florida, in St. Cloud, Florida. Nino X is my biological brother, y'all. And he just lost somebody very, very close to him due to the police. And he's gonna tell us the story. because it has not been publicized, and they're trying to keep it off the news. So I really want, you know, y'all to spread the word on Jah'Sean Hodge. Jah'Sean Hodge, and he just passed away on the 5th, I believe. Was it the 5th, Dre? Shake your head, yes or no. So yeah, I'm gonna bring him on right now, and he's gonna tell us about what happened. All right, hold up, y'all. All right. Peace, bro. You here? Welcome to my show, the Scoop of REX.
Peace, brother.
All right.
You doing?
Thank you for having me.
We can't hear you.
Happy
You
Mother's
breaking
Day
up.
to everybody.
Oh, thank you.
But,
Thank you.
Lagging a little. Like, as long as you guys can hear me, that's what.
What do you say?
You can't hear me?
Yes.
As long as everybody can hear
Yeah.
him.
And that's right. He didn't pass away. He was murdered. And let me correct myself. He did not pass away a few days ago. He was murdered a few days ago. Okay, you're having some type of interruption.
He's frozen.
1 second, y'all.
Yeah.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
Yeah, it is breaking up bad.
Yeah, can hear me. I'll tell you.
We can't hear you.
We don't hear you. You know what? Come out. Leave out and come back in. I'm gonna tell them the story, and he can break it all down.
What about now?
Look at my baby, my nephew.
He's so cute.
He was like, I need some attention
we can't
right
hear
now.
you. We can't hear you. Look at him. Look at him looking.
All right.
I'm talking about up and looking. He's gonna be so intuitive.
Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me.
We hear you. But you're breaking up though.
No.
You're kind of in and out. You're kind of
in. All right. Well, I'm gonna try to explain it the best as I can, so you guys can hear me as best as y'all can.
All right.
Okay. So on May 5th, my close friend, he's like a brother to me. He was at the house with his niece that was living with a friend also. You know. So what happened was that these people had came in, and he was trying to protect his niece from the intruders in the house.
A home invasion.
So at the time in the house, the intruder was trying to get to the daughter or whatever he was trying to do, and he was trying to protect them. So when he had run out the house, you know, he had blood because, you know, the intruder came in. He ended up stabbing the little girl and also cutting her in the neck. He ran out the house, you know, trying to dude down. And as he came out the house, you know, there's a lot of public witnesses as well, you know, that was there, telling everybody what was happening. You know, the police didn't ask no questions. They didn't, you know, bring 2 cops. They didn't act up shooting them in the back 3 times.
Did you say they shot him in the back?
They left his body on the floor for about 7 hours, literally sat on the pavement, and they left his body on the floor for 7 hours.
And did you say they shot him in the back? Where did they shoot him at? He's breaking up. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of reiterate. Where did they shoot him at? Where did they shoot him at?
Thumbs up if you heard what I just said.
Sorta. Where did they shoot him at? I'm gonna reiterate.
In the back.
In the back.
Yeah. Wow.
How many times did you say?
That's crazy.
They shot him in the back.
How many times did they shoot him?
Okay, so I don't know. I don't know. That's what I've been trying to figure out. 3 times. 3 times. Okay, so what happened? Okay,
So
some of the because 1 second, bro, because you're breaking up. Okay, so what he told me was it was a home invasion, right?
So they shot him in the back
at the house, and there was a 9-year-old little girl and his friend. The intruder,
yes.
intruder stabbed the little girl, sliced her neck, and stabbed his friend. His friend went outside. The police was out there, but the police didn't ask no questions or nothing like that, and they killed his friend. Just killed him. And his friend was actually the victim.
Right. Because did he get cut as well?
He was stabbed. His friend got stabbed.
Yeah, he got stabbed. Right.
The media they wrote him as the victim.
I'm gonna say, what did I hear this at? I heard this.
So his name was Jah'Sean Hodge, and his name was spelled J.
Yeah.
J-A-H, and then there was apostrophe S-H-E-A-N.
But the officer that shot him,
bro,
was the
bro. What I want you to do is I want you to log off and just come back on with just your voice. Don't put your camera on, so we can see if we can hear you without the camera. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, he froze all the way.
Yeah, because we want to hear exactly what he was telling us. And I already know the story because you told me already. But I want you to come back in and tell everybody, exactly what it is that you know. So that this can be spread, the word can be spread. So come back in. I'm going to log you out. Come back in just with your voice, bro.
My heart is hurting for him. That is just something so traumatizing to go through.
Right. And his niece, they sliced her throat.
Yeah.
Sliced
her throat. Yeah. 9-year-old little girl.
She got stabbed. Mm-hmm. She got stabbed.
And her neck was sliced.
She died?
No.
Mm-mm.
I believe I'm not too sure what her condition is, but I know that Jah'Sean was murdered. And he came out for help. That's the thing. He came.
And they didn't even ask
help, and then that's
you know what?
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And it's like that's crazy because it brings us back to when something happens, we don't even want to call for help,
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right. Bro. You should try to come back in with just your audio.
You said what?
Are you talking now?
Not as good, but can you hear me though?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. As long as y'all can hear me, that's fine, But I'll tell you the rest of the story so y'all can know what happens. So the media, what made it more corrupted the most was that the officer that shot him was the captain lieutenant's son. He's only been on duty for 5 months, literally, since that day. And they've been trying to cover it up because they clearly know that they're wrong. For one, not asking him questions. 2, for how they did that, shooting him in the back 3 times, and 3, obviously being the captain lieutenant's son. They've been trying to cover it up. They don't want him to get tarnished or anything. So at this moment right now, we have a whole division in our about people saying that the officer was right for doing that, and they're telling everybody that he is a possible suspect for stabbing the daughter or the niece. If because he's not blood related to the people that lived in the house, but he's been with these people all his life, literally all his life, since he was a young kid. And it's sad because they're using, he's not blood related to the niece, that he's a suspect. But we all know him. We know the niece. We know the uncle. Like the uncle and him are best friends. You know what I'm saying? And we all hang out together on a daily basis. And be able to be putting it out like he did that is crazy because, we all know he didn't do that. And people they was even saying that when the officer shot him, the lady she wrote to his mother was that saying, you know, why did you shoot him? You didn't have a reason to shoot him or nothing. The officer was quick to shoot the kid and everything. And like right now we're at the point that we yesterday we went out and we was all in front of the police station and we know we standing for him, you know, his name because that's the best thing we know, you know. And the officers literally were just looking at us laughing, weren't taking us serious or nothing. You know, they didn't want to come up face to face. You know, not even like a close, like 2 feet distance. They were literally so far back, just watching us, and they didn't bring all the officers out the building. They just left about 3, and they rotated out, and all of them were just laughing with their glasses on and not caring. You know, and it's sad because the kid, you know, he was 20 years old, and he has such a big dream to be, you know, make, and he wanted to do so good. He has 2 daughters. He has 2 daughters, and it doesn't sound like him to be doing something like that. And for the media to do that just so they could cover up what's happened to St. Cloud police, that's sad. You know, we're trying to make justice right for him because it's really messed up. You know, my friend did go out as a hero. He was trying to protect his niece and get the dude, and it's sad because they didn't even try to ask him questions. They could have tased him. There was 2 officers on the scene. They didn't even try to bring him down. And if you would have seen the kid, he's no taller. He's about 5'7", 5'8". You know, he's not a big guy. It's not like they had a you know, he had no weapons on him. They try to say he had a knife on him, all this stuff, so they could look like they had a reason to shoot him in the back. But everybody knows that it's close to him, and the people around in the neighborhood was even saying that wasn't what happened. But if you read the article, they're saying that he was the suspect for stabbing the niece and all that. So we're at this point, we're just, you know, hoping that justice gets served away. And we're taking this day by day. You know, his mother, a very strong woman, she's been standing in there doing what she's got to do as a mom because she also has other sons too. He got 3 more brothers. He has 3 more brothers, and he's the middle child. So, you know, she still got 3 sons that currently, you know, we also are fighting for his name too. And we're just working day by day. But my goal is because, you know, I feel bad because it's just not that it's because it's a black person or it's just, you know, somebody is posting me. It was the way that it went down and how they're making this kid's name tarnished. They took a picture of him about a year when he was in jail with dreads because he don't have dreads anymore. They took that picture and used it as a picture for him in the media so the media could see him as a thug or whatever they want to picture him as. And then they said, oh, does his crime record relate to what he did on over here? Like they try to bring up all his dirt from the past so he can look like this bad guy. But we all know he wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? He didn't stab the niece. We know he didn't do that. So we're more in shock because, like, you know, this is something that you usually see on on TV or on a movie, you know, and it's just to be so close to literally it was about 3 streets from my house, 3 or 4 streets from my house. And it's like at this point, it's like, wow, you know, these people are really corrupted and they're really trying to keep their name good by messing up this kid's name. Like, oh, he's just another person, you know, like, let's do that, you know, because they don't want to bad. They don't want to get sued. They don't want to have everybody in the media know what's going on. So at this point, we're trying to get it as far as possible around to the media. We got it on Ballers Alert. I don't know if y'all ladies know what that is, but that's like a big social media for young people that they all be on. So we actually got on there, so that's good.
There be some old heads on that, bro.
And on Facebook as well as
I said there be some old heads on Ballers Alert. It ain't just young folks. There be some old heads on there.
What?
I said there be some old heads on there. They be talking about all kind of stuff on there.
Yeah, we definitely do. We definitely do.
So did they catch the intruder though? Like what about the intruder?
Right.
Where is the intruder at?
No, they haven't caught anybody, and at this point, I don't think
they ain't not even gonna look
at this point.
They're not.
If they do, or whatever they do, they're gonna look.
It sounds like they're not even looking for nobody.
They're gonna look like that. That's gonna make it the whole. So we're just, you know, we're sad. We don't. It's crazy, you know. Like you can only do so much, and you know, someone said to us, it was like, yo, so you're gonna tell us that the people who are basically corrupting the whole situation are the people who are investigating the crime itself as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have the same officers that are doing all this and the same investigators that work with the officers investigating the crime. So, like, you're gonna tell me they're not gonna do what they gotta do to fix it up? Because, you know, the county where I'm from, it's a small little county. It's big, but it's not like real. Everybody knows each other around here, and I'm just like the investigators. Everybody, you know, hopefully they find the person that did it, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Literally, I don't think it's gonna happen. So we're hoping that, you know, everything comes to light. Everything from the dark is gonna come to the light. So
Right.
we're just trying to work and see what we can do from here on. You know.
Mm.
She's telling me to log back in.
All right, peace, y'all. I apologize. We had an interruption on my end this time with the internet. So I'm going like this. Hopefully y'all can see me.
Mm-hmm.
Can y'all see me properly?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna continue this. Sorry for that little
All right.
interruption right there. All right, let me see. 1 second, y'all.
Y'all can hear me?
All right.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yes. I apologize, everyone. That was an interruption on my behalf. On my behalf, to continue, bro.
You said what?
Continue.
Okay. Well, yeah. So like I was saying, that, you know, they're so crazy. Everybody's making a big scene on the opposite side, like with the officers. Like, the officers were right for shooting him. The officers were saying that, you know, he was a threat, so they had to do that. But literally, it's like that didn't have to happen like that. You know, even if they have certain procedures they gotta go through for they have to shoot somebody. In the army, they teach you, you know, before you shoot your opponent, they gotta shoot first. You know, so for a police officer to just be trigger happy out here and shoot whenever they want is crazy, because even army people don't even move that way. And I'm just at this point, I'm just, you know, trying to bring justice to my friend's name and do what I gotta do and let the people know, you know, because it keeps going on. This won't stop if people just ignore situations like this. And you know, he does my best to get his videos out. You know, he raps, so his videos are on my page as well. And, you know, y'all want to see it, you know, it's Kodak Blow Up. See what he looks like, you know, and, you know, we're just gonna continue on trying to bring justice to his name at this point. And, you know, we're gonna wait until the media, the investigation gets done with what they got to do, and, you know, we're just gonna keep on trying to push everything that we got to do.
He disappeared.
Yeah, I had to fix my camera because my internet messed up, and I bounced from my phone back to my platform. Like, goodness.
Your brother's gone?
He's there. He's there. He's loading in.
Okay.
He's there. That situation that happened and shot the first thing moving. I don't know how I did that, but I gotta get this off of here. Oh, there it is. All right. That situation with Jah'Sean, that's like terrible. You know what I mean?
Man.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
I'm just thinking about how that boy felt.
I apologize, everyone. I had to miss something happened with my connection.
Because
but it's just terrible. But the crazy thing is, okay, what my thing is, what happened to the daggone assailant?
Right.
Right.
Like he's
Like,
not even
boy,
concerned now. But then the fact that you sit there and watch somebody slice your niece's throat and you try to run and get help.
That's what I'm saying. That boy died in fear.
That's crazy.
He was already scared, you know, and ran out for help, and then that happened, and to think that he died like that, he died in fear like that, he was already afraid and frantic, you know. This just don't make no sense. It just don't make no sense.
It's crazy. I'm sick of them.
So, but the thing is, like the title, I still carry. Okay, the title of this show is The Destruction of the Original People, Man, Woman, and Child. This has been happening physically and psychologically. You know what I mean? To us, it's just been happening. It's been happening for a long time. And like we was talking about earlier, it started from the moment that the colonizers set foot on this soil. You know what I mean?
Right.
It started since then. That's when it began. You know what I mean? And if we didn't comply, what did they do? They beat us. They beat our people. They killed them. This has been going on.
They are the original terrorists of the world. They are.
This has been going on for centuries.
At some point,
centuries and centuries.
To being like, okay, if they killing us and we praying, but they still killing us, but we praying to the same God that they praying to, at what point do we unify and be like, if you kill us, we killing 5 of y'all? Like, it's getting old, but it has me worried because, you know, like we talked about, we raising kids, and it's not just a target on Black men. They killing Black girls, Black women, babies. They don't care. Like the police officers in Oklahoma, shot through the car and shot one of the babies in the head. One of them got shot in the stomach. Like,
it's like 3 kids, right?
Yeah, 3 kids was in the car.
Yeah,
they were trying to chase somebody.
Care. Yeah, I remember that.
It don't make no sense.
They don't care unless it's their own. And then the majority of our people that's in the police force, they don't care either. They already done got brainwashed.
Are the biggest coons.
I was about to say that, girl.
They are the biggest.
They are already brainwashed.
They're already brainwashed.
Yep, because if they hadn't been, then they would have worked instead of thinking that they needed to serve justice by joining their forces. They would have created their own force, their own community, so that they could seek justice on their own, in their own terms.
Just think of what kind of dumbass you have to be for somebody to kill your people, and then you stand alongside the police officers while trying to barricade your people into their own project. Think of what kind of dumbass.
Yeah, you some kind of sick.
Yeah, like
what kind of sick?
What breed of? How do you like? I don't want to go off. You
talking about the Uncle Ruckuses, the Uncle Ruckus.
Yes, you have to be a certain kind of bitch to stand alongside your enemy and threaten your own people. You a different breed of bitch. It's something in you. It's something in you. I'm sorry, I forgot you was right here.
And you know, they got to the point where it teaches to the kids, you know, to the point where they're not even knowing no better, and that's that Willie Lynch syndrome, you know.
It sure is. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out, but there's only so much we can say. We can't say much on no video. You know what I mean?
Look at him.
Can't do too much and say too much on no video because you know what they be doing.
FBI knocking at the door.
You see what happened to Sandra Bland. You see what happened to that one chick.
Korean gang.
No, not even her. I'm talking about just from talking on a video.
You talk about that chick and that one girl that she always talked like that, and then they killed her. I think she was inside her house, and she told them that they was not coming up in there, and she was gonna shoot back.
Yeah, that's Korean.
You talking about Corinne? She talking about Corinne.
Yeah,
she talking about Corinne. Who am I talking about? That one chick, I don't forgot her name, man, but Sonnet and them brought her on his show and everything like that. But the chick used to be friends with Patah and stuff like that. But her, you know, she made a video, went on YouTube talking about go shoot the police, blah, 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 and they arrested her. Had her in jail.
They arrested her for being a black extremist.
Yeah.
Because that's the same thing they were trying to get me under on with the Oklahoma City Police Department as a black extremist.
Okay, so what you gonna do to these white people that's talking about, you know, they need to kill the niggas, you know, and chase them down and, you know, and barricade us and put us in cages like monkeys and all of that, and they waving around their guns. Like, what do you do with them? You know?
Nothing. They the KKK. They don't care.
Girl, for real.
Let me see what he said. He says this. I say what I want and I carry my gun back my mess up. Do not walk around in fear, man. Okay, so this is what I gotta say about this. Because you done made you done made a couple of comments, and I just kind of ignored your comments, you know what I mean? But I'm about to say something now, right? Because you keep making these comments talking about, oh, I got or whatever. You know how many of us got guns? That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing, man. You can have a gun all you want to. You can walk around with fear all you want to, but they'll still shoot your ass. So it don't matter. It don't matter. You don't got. Ain't none of us in fear because we walk around. I say whatever. I talk to the police however way I want to, but they still don't matter. They still gonna shoot you if they want to. Simple as that. With your gun in your hand.
It's true.
With your fearless self, they still gonna shoot you. So the point is to figure out how we can fix this. What we can rectify this situation, because it don't matter if you got your gun and your license to carry and whatever. That none of that matters. That just don't matter. You understand what I'm saying? Because a lot of our people are licensed to carry and walk around with a gun and they're fearless. So that right there doesn't matter at all.
Without unity, without unity or separation, that don't mean nothing.
Thank you, Negabeth. Thank you. Like without that unity, anything. All of that talking, all of that marching, and all of that preaching y'all doing don't mean nothing unless you stand together. And I mean completely together. Not just when you feel like, oh God, it's time to stand up right now because this person that got shot, or you feel like you got some injustice within the courtroom. At all times.
We need to be together. We need to be together at all times.
Right.
Yes, at all times.
Even at all times,
not just when someone gets shot down.
Even if one of us are wrong, as long as you're not destroying your own, it should be nothing else said. Just like when these white people, like that dude Dylan Roof, when he went into that church and killed all them black people, they took his bitch ass to Burger King, and they donated all that money, all that GoFundMe money.
Yep.
So it's like they stick with their people regardless. With ours, we give ours the benefit of the doubt. Oh well, he shouldn't have been walking around with a gun.
We need our own.
What did he do wrong? What did he do wrong?
Our own money. Our own unification, our own money, our own means of justice. We need to handle our own. They should not be responsible to handle anything that has to do with us. You want to know why?
What did he do wrong?
Because we cannot do anything with them. They will not allow us to step foot. We can only go as far as they will allow us to when it comes to anything that has to do with what they have going on. So therefore, we need to create our own. We need our own currency. We need our own justice system.
Separation is needed. I'm all for
check this out. Check this out. He come back and says this.
But y'all sounding scared.
How the fuck we sounding scared and help us? How the fuck is that sound we need to do?
Right.
Like, are you not hearing what we saying? Are you not hearing what we saying?
Not blurred out.
Like, are you not hearing what we saying here? We talking about fighting back. We ain't talking about sitting back protesting. We ain't talking about walking around with our hands up.
How to say that we need our own system?
Like, what you
we need
talking
to be
about?
Separated. We need to unify. How is that sounding scary?
Come on, man.
If that sounds scary to you need to walk by yourself.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
And show me that you're not scared.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm about to say, be honest with you. And he can feel however he want to feel about this. You sound like you're going to be the next person on the news somewhere because you about to do something stupid. Because you're saying a bunch of stupid stuff. You're talking a bunch of stupid stuff. You know, it's like you're parading around saying that you need to just go around saying how you feel waving your gun around. No, that's going to get you killed, period.
Especially if you ain't never dealt with the police before, you can't call nobody scary, man.
We're talking about how to find a solution that's going to be long term, that's going to help our children.
Right.
Because to be truth, to take the truth about it, eventually you're gonna return to the essence. But actually, that's gonna be the one's gonna be left here with this mess.
Right. Because we didn't fix it.
Right. Exactly.
And then he talking about. Stag, I just think you just need to buy. He's talking about we in our emotions. No, we talking logically here.
Right.
We're talking logically. We're trying to figure out solutions.
Right.
That's what we're doing. Right. That's what we're doing.
What's the point?
You understand what I'm saying?
I don't hear you talking about anything as a black man, and I don't hear you talking about unifying. I don't hear you talking about coming up with your own
what's going to happen. What are you going to do?
Right.
What are your credentials? What have you done?
What are you going to do?
Right. What have
the
you
question.
done?
We're trying to figure out what we're going to do.
What is your place in the movement? What is your place? That's what you need to figure out. What is your place in the movement? Because we're talking about a movement. We're not talking about stupidity. We're not talking about reckless behavior. What is your position in the movement?
Girl, please. Look, man. Look.
Like, what's going on?
Man, please. Look, man. Like, look, man. Look, yo. All I'm saying is this. There's things that we need to talk about. And I done said this, a couple years back. That we just can't be talking about all up on social media. You know what I mean? There's just things that need to be done, and that's just what it is. And we know that. And it doesn't start with protesting, walking in the streets and standing in front of damn stores and standing in front of the police stations with our fists up, all that, and hooting and hollering. It don't start with that. You know what I mean? So it don't start with that. And it's not gonna end with that. You know what I mean?
Nope.
Something else needs to be done, and we know what needs to be done. And it's going to take one of these people like Seth that's talking about he got guns and he ain't got no fear to do something then. You know what I mean? It's going to take somebody like Seth who got the gun and got all, the rights and all this other stuff to get out there and do something then. Since since it's all like that, then why don't you set it off then, homie? Set it off. Set it off, my brother. Set it off.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Straight up.
Set that fire.
Since you got it, you're fearless. Set it off then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because don't sit here and talk about who's scared and who not. You ain't set it off. You've been hearing about it for years, and they go set it off then.
Right.
Simple as that.
Right.
Because all I hear, and all I see, and all I hear is people like him getting on here talking about, oh, y'all saying this, oh, y'all saying that, and I got a gun, and I know my rights, and I know this, and I know that, but you ain't doing nothing though.
Right.
But you ain't doing nothing.
Ain't nobody busting no move yet.
Come on, man.
Right.
Come on, man. Like, this is crazy, man. Like, this is just craziness.
I don't see how saying unify is, how is that scary? How is saying unify scary? When people are acting scared to unify. Well, how is unifying scary?
Nah, it ain't scary. It ain't scary. It ain't scary.
The fuck
you know what I mean? It ain't scary at all. But,
Yeah.
It doesn't make no sense. Because, he's all on here with the bull.
Yeah, like, come on, man. Roll out, dog.
I'm talking about the whole time we talking.
Like, I ain't even got to
like,
but it is what it is. Like,
girl.
You said what?
He been commenting the whole time since we started. You was waiting.
The thing is, he don't personally know us. You know what I mean? He don't know how we talk to the police. He don't know what we do. He don't know none of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
He don't know that. He don't know these.
Guarantee
he don't know these three. He don't know these three women right here.
Okay.
He ain't went through the list that I went through.
So that's just what it is.
Okay.
But I did give him that spotlight so that he can see. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we talking bad in your ass. You talking stupid because you don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
That's why.
That's what I just said. You talking and you're not listening.
You're not. Exactly.
You're not listening.
We talking logical, and you talking some bull. Like, come on, roll out right now, man. If you ain't about the unity, if you ain't trying to make something work, make something happen, if you ain't trying to use that gun that you're talking about, you got, then shut up. Simple as that.
Right.
Who is that?
Right. Right.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying.
You better go on, dude.
Right.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like, don't come up on here talking.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, come on.
Right.
Come on, man. Come on. That's all I gotta say. But anywho,
Right.
anyway.
You didn't hear what we said that these police know our name. They know us. They know us.
Yeah.
We ain't friendly.
The hell?
They know us for not being friendly.
Right.
So what you talking about? Like,
you tried it, Seth.
Yeah, he tried to say, he tried.
It's crazy.
You don't want to
like,
upset the
come on,
black
man.
sisters now. You don't want to upset the black sisters now. We're gonna get on you, buddy.
Right.
We're gonna back it up.
Get on that.
We on
Right.
the thing is we be on their side. Don't come up on here trying to talk some shit, dog. Like, don't do that.
Right. Right.
Don't do that. We the ones over here trying to ride for your ass. You trying to talk some shit. Come
Facts.
on, get out of here, dog.
Facts.
Tried it. Don't try it again.
He tried it. He wanted his 5 seconds of fame. He got it.
So you got your 5 seconds.
No,
so you got 3. You got 3 seconds, man.
No, it just doesn't make sense because we over here trying to figure out a plan. We talking about what needs to be done. We highlighting the people. We letting it know what done happened. This guy gonna get up on here and say whatever. Get your man, please.
And this, you know what? And you know we were talking about black people with that type of thinking. You know what I mean? It's black people like you with that type of thinking that keep us separated. You wanna know why? Because you cause confrontation and confusion within a unified cipher. You're not even trying to be. You're not trying. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, come on, just exit.
Man, look, he did. He got me for that minute though. He had me a little hot. I'm looking like I was really trying. I was ignoring him for a minute. You know what I mean?
I know you was, but he was running it up.
Yeah, just
more.
Like, come on, man.
That was a pick-me post.
He was running it like.
That was pick me.
Man. Anywho, so as we were saying, so my brother said he has a bad connection, and let me see what he said. He just messaged, and he said I guess he had to go because his connection was bad. He couldn't hear anything. So I'm so happy y'all came on the show. I'm so happy.
Thank you.
And my brother got to spread his word. My brother got to spread his word about
we're not gonna let his name be forgotten. We're gonna remember Jah'Sean. We're gonna remember him.
Yeah.
We're gonna say his name.
We are. We're gonna figure out something. I don't know what we can possibly do. You know what I mean? I'm not sure. But one thing we can do is definitely spread the word about his murder. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like spread the word.
Oh, you know I'm about to get on it, right?
Yeah, spread the word. Spread the word about his murder because people don't know about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And right now,
we took the first step right here, Fari. I said we took the first step right here. This is the first step right here.
That's what my intentions were. That's what my intentions were. You know, just to get it put out there. You know what I mean? And that's what today's segment was about, just putting it out there about Jah'Sean Hodge and the Hispanic boy Jesse Cedillo, and talk about Sean Reed and talk about Ahmaud.
Right.
You know? So but there's plenty more, like we said, that we don't even know about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, the list goes on. And the list goes on, and it will continue to go on until we do something.
Right.
Exactly.
We put them Bibles down real quick.
Yeah. Start praying on it. Make some moves.
Yeah. Because trust me,
somebody ain't listening.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna say, trust me, that man with them bathrobes and them house shoes is not coming, man. He's not.
Right. Somebody ain't listening.
Right.
Talk to yourself.
Girl, please. I'm about that. He done made me hungrier. I'm hungry now. So I'm just
that worked up appetite.
Yes, man. Like, look, I done got hungry after all this. Like, thanks a lot, Zach.
I'm sorry, y'all. A little bit.
Zach, you still my brother, though. Yeah, thanks a lot. You still my brother. Right. You just need to wake up.
Right, you need to wake up a little bit more. You need to wake up, Zach. Like, for real. He said he gonna speak out too, girl.
That was crazy.
He's gonna pull my lip.
Okay, well, again, happy Mother's Day to you all.
Thank you.
Right.
You too.
We was only supposed to be on here for 40 minutes. We was only supposed to be on here for 40 minutes.
I seen that.
Girl, we be running it. It be some crucial subjects.
Don't feed that baby.
It be some crucial subjects now.
Yes, this was a crucial subject. You know,
right.
And one thing I gotta say is this. You know, when it goes back to like the destruction, psychologically, we have been able to break those chains that was put on. Well, I didn't have that chain put on me. You know what I mean? With the religious chain thing. But majority of us, I didn't have that. But so many of us have been waking up and so forth. You know what I mean? And they're breaking away from that cycle of that religious chain, thinking, okay, somebody's gonna come down and save them and so forth. And now they're teaching their children the truth. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's a step right you know, in rebuilding what was already destroyed. You know what I mean? Because, you know, and we gotta keep teaching our babies the truth and let them know what's happening. And keep them informed on what's happening in this world, period. You know what I mean? They need to know what's going on. You know, and they need, and like I said, they need to know the truth. You know, they need to know where they come from. They need to know about their ancestors. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They need to know about the oppressors. They need to
know their story, not his story.
Know about how it happened. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes. They need to know everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it starts with us at this point. Because we weren't really taught that. You understand what I'm saying? But now that we know, we can go on and spread it on. You know what I mean?
Yes. So we can wake everybody up.
Start rebuilding.
Wake up as a unity. We need to wake up as a unity because, please, my people, do not die in your sleep. That's exactly what will happen.
Yeah.
Yep. Truth. And I'm sorry, Daddy. I was cussing. I'm so sorry. You know, he made me so mad.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Daddy. This guy had me so mad. I was cussing. I'm sorry, Daddy. I'm sorry. Gosh.
Don't worry. I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. I apologize.
We got mad.
Like, watch your mouth. We
got passionate. We got
really passionate.
Yeah.
Yes. I apologize. Goodness, I just got
right.
I apologize.
Got a little carried away.
Upset for a second, like dang. But yes, but I love you all. I love y'all, sisters. We will continue this conversation later.
Okay.
Okay.
It was great. Like I said, it was great having y'all on the show. Meet me backstage. We got to be out there. All right.
Yes. Peace and light.
Peace and light, everyone, and have a great rest of the night or day, wherever you're at.
Right.
It's the scoop with Spy React. Go off.